Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Tom Stewart here. My co-host today is Matt Ricketts. Our guest is Natasha Magrath, and this is Smart Business Moves. Matt, welcome. Thank you for helping us. Natasha, it's good to see you. Have you ever been on
Thank you for
Smart
having
Business?
me.
Have you ever been on Smart Business Moves before? I don't think
No,
so.
this is my first time. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Before we get started, I'd like to just ask Matt. You haven't seen you in a bit. What you been up to?
We've got a lot of cool stuff going on. So we're in the middle of that rebrand, the Better Life Home, and I got
You're dropping the word "maid."
I think it gives us a broader appeal. So I just got word from USPTO or USTPO, whichever it is. I can never remember where the P is from the trademark.
Patent and trademark, USPTO.
Yeah. So I got word that we were approved for conditional use of Better Life for all home services, but we have 6 months to show it in use. So I've got to build some specimens and things like that for that. So build a new kind of landing page.
You already have that. You could send them a couple of pictures and you're good.
Yeah, probably make a new landing page with like plumbing. Well, because we're saying we're getting it for like all home services, Tom, plumbing, electrical. So I've got to build a specimen page for that, which we may not do that for a few years, 10 years, 20 years. Who knows if it'll ever happen.
I'm amazed that you got a response that quickly. I mean, I remember that taking well over a year.
Yeah, I think it's moving along, and then
They must be using AI.
Yeah, that's a big one. I got a good lawyer, and I think this is stuff that I used to DIY myself like years ago, and now I'm like, yeah, I should hire people to do that.
I'm sure your lawyer is good, but the people in Washington are still the people in Washington. So
yeah, that's true.
Good to see you.
That's a big one. And then, we're getting ready for our annual all-employee training day. We found a really great company called Filament here in St. Louis that puts on events. They're in EO with us, and I got an EO discount on this because I probably could not afford this company without my network being a little bit stronger. So give a plug to EO for it basically paid for itself this year, and getting a facilitator for us for we think this event's really important for community, company engagement, and it's really important right now because we did buy a new company in St. Louis, and we got 10 new technicians in that deal, and one in the office staff, and want to get them all up and board on our culture, and getting them all together and meeting everybody. So that's coming up in August, and I'm really excited. The timing on that is good. A lot of other things, some stuff I can't announce yet, but a lot of good stuff.
Come on,
not yet. There's
just us.
Yeah.
How many companies have you bought over the last year?
Just 2, and I think I'm
that's
still
2 more than most of us have bought.
Yeah, I think it's a good value if you can integrate them into your business, because a lot of it just drops to the bottom line because you're not acquiring all of their back office and all the overhead. These businesses require so much overhead, whether we think about it or not, just to have one, or whether so getting bigger obviously helps with expanding some of those costs. And Tom always talks, what's the difference between growth and scale? And I often forget that growth is just growing, and you keep adding the same widgets to make it, if it took 2 widgets to make $10, and you just keep adding 2 widgets. But scale is about, all right, you added 10 widgets, but it only took one other front end widget to make that 10, right? So you cut it in half, or even better, it stayed the same. So my goal is that we're at about a run rate of 5 million. We about 95,000 a week or so, a little short of that if I'm because everybody always calls you if you're not 100% on that. I think 96,000 is 5 million. But I think we could double without really adding much, if any, back office staff at this point. Maybe one person, like a dedicated recruiter, but AI might take that job too. It may be that technology solves for a lot of that stuff. So maybe the person would be something that Natasha would recommend. Maybe something on the retention side. We're going to get into her stuff.
Yeah.
The culture.
Matt, how long you been in business?
16 years, but only really taking it seriously the last 4.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. You're saying 5 million plus. I'm not there yet, but 16 years.
Yeah, a lot of us are, kind of had a restart after COVID, went all the way down to 1.3 million. I did the numbers. It was 1.3, 1.8, 2.4, 3.6. This year we won't do 5. We'll do 4.6, and we should have a run rate at the end of the year of between 5.2 and 5.5. So the growth just starts to compound once you kind of figure out, the KPIs you're using to create inputs. There's going to be some friction, and we're not going to always be able to do this the way it is now, but we haven't hit that point yet. So, but yeah, let's get into your stuff. I mean, I think that the staffing part is going to be what I really want to learn about today, because you're doing that better than us, I think.
You're here today, Natasha, I guess for a couple reasons. One reason is we're going to be talking a little bit about ISSA Residential, the annual trade show and convention, which will be happening this November. I'll share a screen here. I should have pulled this up already. And you're going to be a presenter this year, isn't that right?
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited to share my journey with other businesses, and also especially if someone is new in this industry. I am not gonna go on very detailed today with what's going on in my journey and all that, but I will say for all the audience and who is listening right now, come to my session. We're gonna be more in deep dive, and I want to say thank you for the ISSA, because this event, I gotta tell you, it did open a lot of learning for me. I've been going there for years. I met a lot of other businesses who they've been longer from me, right? I'm only 7.5 years, and 2 years of COVID, it did kill us. I mean, my business, I was just feeling a little bit profit, and COVID came. And
you started your business in 2017?
April 2017.
Okay.
Yep.
And you're located in Northern Virginia.
We are in Northern Virginia. I'm close to DC, so I serve two territory, Loudoun County and Fairfax County. Okay. And we are planning by this year, by October, November, to open our first satellite office to expand to Prince William County. So we're gonna open one office in, we are about the time. And MaidCentral, I gotta say, I'm not trying to sell MaidCentral, because I knew about MaidCentral at the ISSA show. This is where I knew about MaidCentral.
I remember talking to you about it.
Yeah, and I will tell you, it was the best decision to my business to bring this software to my business, because even I have the background of accounting and finance. When MaidCentral did help me a lot on the vision and more forecast for future, and even with the growth I had. I mean, I don't know, Matt, you did mention, I will tell you percentage every year. We're between 25 to 30% growth from year to year.
Wow.
This is not counting, of course, the COVID year, which is 2 years. We were dead, but so after that, the business boom. We're
Natasha,
very busy.
There's something I tell people all the time is, if you can hold 30% growth, you will double your business every 2.8 years. So you're on you're on a cool trajectory that if you can figure out the inputs that are getting you there, right? Like, what are the KPIs? What are the inputs that you have to do to get there? I mean, you'll hit some friction points where you've got to kind of change what you're doing and learn new skills, but
absolutely.
That's exciting.
What do they call it? It's the rule of 72. If you take 72 and divide it by your growth rate, that's how many years it takes to double. So if you're growing at 7%, it takes you 10 years to double. You're growing at 10%, it takes 7 to double. And 72 divided by 25 is less than 3.
Yeah. I think it's exciting when I see people in like the 20-30% range, because you're going to open up more resources for yourself to be able to do the things you want to do for your staff. And so, figure out what those inputs are. I'll give 2 pieces of thought that came across my mind. And one of them doesn't apply to you because you are a franchise. But if we all acted like we were franchises and put another 6% back into our business, right? And just reinvest in brand and marketing and our staff, how much faster could we grow? And then the other thing that I think sounds like you're doing, and maybe you can talk about, is the less valuable I become in my business, I feel like the more valuable my business is. And those are like 2 things that have been on my mind. And whenever I hear people growing fast, I want to know how much less they're doing than they used to do. Like that they're.
Oh my God, a lot, Matt. Myself, a lot. I would tell you that's why I am on the community a lot. That's why I am everywhere. That's why I serve in 4 boards. I'm part of 3 committees. So I'm serving right now outside my business in the community, because what it take me was MaidCentral. I have only 2 employees, really, 2 managers here. I have 1 manager, 1 assistant. And sometimes I feel like, even with the busy time, like I can get probably to the point just to bring part-time, because MaidCentral doing a lot of work for us. But my manager being with me for, I think, 1.5 years right now. She's smart. She's a quick learner. She run everything. She hire, she fire, she write up. She's, but if we have any big issue, she take care of client, customer service. If we have any big issue, I got involved. And the only thing I would tell you, Matt, I still doing, and Tom, is I still go to homes, do estimates.
Okay. When are you gonna give that up?
I don't know when. That's, I think, the only part I would tell you, like, I'm like involved in the business, other of knowing my number every week or where we are at, because I like to meet a client face to face, because I think it is important to the owner of the company. That's me here. That the owner meet the client. If it is one-time cleaning or a small condo or small like that, we do estimate by phone. But if a house over 2,500 square feet, I will still go and do free estimate. And when go ahead, man. Sorry.
But if you take that thought forward, you said the less valuable you are to the business, the more valuable the business is. I would spin that a little bit differently. It's like the less you're involved in the process flow of the business, the actual finding homes to clean and finding people to clean them, and the logistics, and like the whole process flow chart we use in MaidCentral, the less that you're needed to make that work, the more valuable your business is. But you create more value that way, because you're spending more time on strategy. You're spending more time on where's the next acquisition coming from, where's the next branch that we're opening, what are the things that we need to do to 10x. And Matt and I talk, and I know that's how you're spending your time. So just because you're not burning a lot of calories getting homes cleaned today doesn't mean you aren't creating value. You're creating more value in your business now than you ever have.
That is the point. And the other thing that I wanted to say that Natasha hit on is is that the more you, I think this is a fact of like what she's doing is when you're giving back, you're getting like serving on boards and being involved, you're learning a lot about business from other high level thinkers. So you're spending your time, whether it's, you know, being on boards or being in other organizations, you're spending your time with people that are thinking on the same level you are. So you're not in the day to day of like picking up calls and tied to your desk. You're thinking,
Absolutely.
you know, bigger thoughts about your business and where it goes. I talk about it all the time. That book, you know, 10x is better than 2x. 10x is easier than 2x, and that's the stuff. Like you're finding your unique ability of what you can put back into the industry and to your business. And you know, for me right now, I think it is strategically looking for relationships in the industry. You know, like if anyone is, I'm not pitching because I'm not buying anything outside of St. Louis, but if anyone was looking for, you know, a strategic partner and things like that, like those are, you know, and having conversations with people, you know, and helping them, those are all valuable. So that's what you're doing, it sounds like.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
And Natasha, you sent me an email earlier today, and you list all of the, or I don't know if it's all of it or not, but there's like 8 different local associations that you're on the board or actively involved in your local community.
Yes. And like Matt said, exactly what you said, Matt. Being involved with other leader in the community, it's grown me personally and open more doors for us. And we do a lot of other things. Like I mentor in the public school. I mentor students. I'm a judge. I do judge competition for schooling. Don't ask me how you do it. I manage it. I have very management of my time. And I enjoy doing it. And if you go back right now, I would tell you this is start to happen with me the last 2 years. But before that, I didn't have a time because I was everything the business. I was me, the face of the business. Right now, my employees are the face of my business. I feel like I can trust them. I pay very well. I would tell you probably I'm from the minority business who pay in my area what I pay. We pay them team share. I don't do hourly rates. I do team share. I'm around 49% average. And I noticed that other businesses in the franchise industry, they pay a lot less more of me. But I do pay well. We have benefit for them. We are just bringing 401k match very soon. In 2-3 months, it will be active. A lot of work to do. We close 8 days holidays. We pay them those days. We do volunteer days. The volunteer days, we pay them for those days. We have education program. We have volunteer teacher who come here every Monday morning and they learn English basically. So we do a lot of, and when we do the volunteer day, when we go all of us, because we are equal, right? When I do meeting with them here every 2-3 weeks, I come on Monday or Tuesday, and I have meeting with all the staff to hear from them how things going. Are you happy? Is something bothering you? Is everything okay? And you know what is going on? You know, and all that. I would tell you, I feel when we do the volunteer day, because we treat everybody equally. I teach my 2 managers here. Nobody is better from anyone here. We treat everybody equally. I go with them when we go do volunteer day because even I am the CEO, but you know what? This is company work.
So you say volunteer day. How does that work?
So we reach out to nonprofit community in where we live, and we ask them, you know, we would like to do a volunteer day with you. Like what do you need help on? What can we, if we come, we're gonna come an army of 27 people, 27 people. What can we help you what can we do for you for a couple of hours, for one day. And
so
normally
these are like agencies or
like nonprofits
nonprofits in your local community that you're sending 27 people to. So these have to be big they have to be like United Way agencies, I guess, might fit into that.
I mean, they need, some people ask for deep cleaning, some people ask sorting clothes or stuff, some people ask food, like organize and do, like sort food. So it depends about the organization, what it is. And they will love that. I mean, the team love that because...
Give us an example of an association, an agency that y'all did a volunteer day for.
So example, we have Loud and Hunger Relief, who they feed hundreds and hundreds of people every week. So what we did is actually with them, we did the drive. So I do annually, constantly drive. And I don't want to go in detail, but I will say this. So what is that? That for the last 3 years, I let involve my client with me on this. So we do drive, we do food drive, we do book drives, we do shoes drive. And again, all this is for nonprofit organization.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're doing food drive for an organization, we tell them we're going to do 2 months, we do bi-monthly, and it's constantly, so we don't stop. And when we get the food and everything, we tell them, okay, this is the day we're going to come and bring the food to you. Would you like us to donate? And would you like us to volunteer that day so we can sort all this food? We can organize, because they get donations always. It's not only from You've Got Maid. These organizations, they get donation if it's food or clothes or shoes, or there is organization Loud and Literacy Council. They got always books, and these staff who work there, sometimes they don't have a time to finish up everything. So we need to be outreach for the community, but we focus with nonprofit. That's our goal. This is the organization who we do help.
So you do 6 of those a year?
Yes, and sometimes 5, depends. Like we did add right now 1 month for we're doing now for Loud and Hunger Relief food drive. And we create flyers and we send these flyers to the client homes when the team go to clean. So that will leave that on because we want also to show the client that not only is us an employee, and also the community need us. They need you. I'm talking about the client. And I would tell you, the client, a lot of clients will participate on those drive, and they appreciating what we're doing. So, so that will, yeah. And we've been doing this for 3 years.
And you must be very well known in your local community, your personal involvement, and then getting your entire company involved.
Yeah, and the good news with the volunteer day, we are doing culture and team building there, because they're working together in a project, and we take them for lunch when it's done, because we go for like 4 or 5 hours, and I take them for lunch, and they need each other, because you know how it is on the cleaning business. In the morning they come, they take their stuff, every team, and they leave. But if you hire new people, there is no communication during the day, because everybody come back on different time. They leave mostly all together. But so you will build I remember one time we were in a farm and we were volunteering, and I remember one of the employee told me, "Thank you, Natasha, for doing that. It reminded me of my country when we used to pick up tomatoes and cucumber." I mean, small thing like this is touchable in some of the employees.
Very cool. I don't know if I've heard of a program exactly like this before. Did you model this from somewhere, or did you guys kind of invent it yourselves?
It just did come up in my mind. I just wanted to create kind of culture with activities and helping the community. And the education, it did come from myself. I'm immigrant. So when I came to America, I didn't speak English. As simple as that. I'm educated and I have my degree in finance, but I came here, I didn't know English. It was hard for me. So I had to go to school here and pay money and learn 8 months the English. And when I opened this business after corporate, I worked a long time for corporations.
We kind of got off on we skipped over that part. Let's back up a little bit, Natasha. Tell us your story. How, take us to the beginning.
Yeah. So I grew up in Lebanon, between Lebanon and Marseille in France. My mom was a history teacher. My dad was a doctor. I have only one sister. I came with my first husband to America in 1999. I worked for a little bit time with my ex-brother-in-law in the finance, in the accounting field. And after I went on my own, I work in the real estate property management. So I used to manage hotels and do their books, budgeting, forecasting, months close and all that. And I did that for a long time. And one day in 2017, I woke up and I said to my husband worked for cybersecurity, so he's not with me at all. He helped a little bit in business development side, but he have his own job. And I told him I want to go on my own. And the cleaning business did come up because I used to have a poor cleaning people come to my home and they don't do good job. And I used to always say to my husband, I remember, I don't blame these girls. I blame the leadership in the office because this is poor training, and it's nothing. These girls, they work hard from paycheck to paycheck. So I decided I wanted to open a cleaning business. Even I'm coming from accounting background. And opening business, I honestly, I didn't have any background on how to be a business owner, and that's the truth. And that's why probably it did help make me decide to open a franchise, because when you have franchise, you got a lot of support from corporate.
Right.
And I wanted to open MaidPro, and I don't know if some of MaidPro are hearing me right now, but they told us that MaidPro is already have our territory already. And we reached out to You've Got Maid. We went to the corporate for 1 week. We learned, people ask me, and a lot of people ask me, what is the difference between franchise and being independent? I'll tell you, at the beginning, you will get support if you are on franchise as like vendors and how to set up, and that will give you, list of who you need to contact to get your money in and all that. But you're paying it. You pay franchise fee and marketing fee every month. It's a lot of money. But I would tell you, do I wish to be independent on my own? Maybe this contract is 10 years with You've Got Maid. I still have 2.5. I see what is the next, but I'm growing, and my business is successful. There is no plan to close or anything. It's more to expand. That's my goal. So that's why we're gonna expand to another county very soon and open another office.
Natasha, how many languages do you speak? So my grandmother is from Middle East, from Egypt, and she spoke 6 languages, mostly fluently, but there was some like Italian where she was like not as fluent. But how many languages do you speak?
Only 3, Matt. The only thing I fail on, and I would tell you, is I need to learn Spanish, because
you speak French,
Arabic, French, and English, and I write and I read the 3 language.
And
but
the third is Lebanese or Arabic.
That's the Arabic is the Lebanese,
Arabic.
basically.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to learn Spanish. I need to put a little bit time, because most of my employees here speak Spanish. So
the French should help, right? Like
yes, Yes,
A
it's
lot of the
very close.
conjugation.
Absolutely. So I would tell you how it did come up. The education idea is I used to do meeting, and half of my employees sitting on the conference room, and they don't know what I'm talking about. And it did hurt me because as immigrant and I came to here, I knew that the English is very important to learn. And this is how it did come up, the idea for me to bring them a teacher to teach them. Now, I know that you guys, Matt, probably it's different. It depends about every area, because I know from other You've Got Maid, they have all their employees speak English. So, so it depends about where the location.
I think there are Spanish language employees in my market. We don't have as many of them anymore. We used to have more when it was a bigger initiative, and you have to make such an effort. You have to hire an operations manager that's their primary language. Like,
absolutely,
you're not just going to hire Spanish language people. Like, it's such a trust thing. They're not going to fill out your website, go on your website and apply. Like, a friend is going to have to bring them in. They're going to show up in person.
That's what happened to us.
It's a trust thing. And so if you got to go down that road and really be conscious of it. It sounds like you have some Spanish language employees.
All of them, Matt. Everybody is Spanish. Some speak English, some not. That's why it's required in my company here when I hire manager or assistant, they have to be bilingual because I don't speak Spanish.
But did I hear you say that you're helping your team members by having somebody teach English as a second language?
Yes. And I am not doing, I'm doing this for them. For first, if they are out at the client home, they will be able to understand if a client communicate with them.
Sure.
I want this employee, if she's sitting at home, she can do homework with her child. I mean, the English language is our base language here in America. I mean, it is important. And as it grows, people will tell me, well, you're not having fear that, they're gonna leave one day. And I said, that's good. They leave for a better job. Isn't it? As a leader, this is what we want. It's not, these days, like if you're paying well employee, you can find employee. And like you said, Matt, my employee is word of mouth. Most of them, and Facebook.
Yeah.
Because like you said, we have the forum online on the website of You've Got Maid. I probably every 6-7 months to get like one form, because all my business is word of mouth and referral.
I find the companies that are doing like what you're doing, that are creating really good cultures, especially with the Spanish language employees, and helping lift them up. They have wait lists for employees. Like, so we're all like hiring. Like, I've got to have a full-time recruiter. I'm not going to speak for other companies, but I know some other companies that have told me they've got people waiting to come work for them, and they will leave their other job the second a spot opens.
So how does your English as a second language, how do you deliver that? How do you make that available to your team members?
So we have a form as like now the 401k match, and we do background check. We hire everybody. We do here. We have a package for each employee will come in, and when we interview them, they fill up the paper, and we have a paper if you would like to take English classes, because they go from level to level, and they get to the point they're going to have a workbook, and they need to learn how to write A, how to write B, not only learning how to speak the word, but also like with picture. I mean, the teacher is awesome. I praise her. I would tell you, every Monday morning at 7 a.m. she come here before she go to her work.
So every Monday morning there's an ESL class.
Yes. But on summer, like now, July, we don't do classes. We go back in August. And the company pay for the teacher, by the way. It's not for free.
Okay.
I mean, we don't take, but very small, money. It's not a lot of money, but we pay the teacher. And I appreciate her always. I have the same teacher for 3 years. They love her. They love her, and she's great, Miss Jan. I feel like I need to give her award, not us to get award as a business. She is great. I mean, her passion too, also her to volunteer her time, even she's getting paid, but to do this great thing. This is a huge too.
Yeah, you talked about giving back. Are you on the board for ISSA? I guess I should know this for next year. Are you volunteering with them?
No, I would love to if I got the opportunity, but I got elected for, which is I'm proud to be. I got elected for the Virginia state.
You're the advocacy leader.
Yes, and Stacy said, "Oh my God, you already start to work." I start to talk. I'm starting to reach already to our representative here and to the state representative. Try to see if I can do meeting, and I'm very like when I take if I got something I need to do, like I put my effort on it. It's not just about title. Sometimes people call themselves like leader, and I will tell you, Matt, even until now, look, I mean, I'm talking to you and I told you I want to come visit you.
Yeah,
because I bet you if I come, I visit you, I will leave and I will take something new to my business. Because leader never say I know everything and I am perfect. We're not.
I visit people whenever I go out of town. I was at an EO trip in Austin, Texas, and I made it a point of visiting one MaidCentral user and another company that I'm impressed with some things that they're doing. They both run their companies very differently. So I make the effort to see other people too.
Yeah.
To your point about ISSA, Tom and I wouldn't know each other. People underappreciate the value of in-person networking now because so many things are so easy. Like we can get on the internet and have a conversation with somebody, but do you really connect over that in-person connection of ISSA that served the industry really well. And I think there's still a future for that level of networking and education, especially I do love the visits when they facilitate, like a facilitated visit to a couple of businesses in a region. We did a tour here a couple of years ago. I've visited other companies when they host. Gosha's was gracious enough to host one a couple of years ago that I went to. There's something about going to that stuff like you're talking about and just picking up one little thing.
Absolutely. Because, even we are leader, but believe me, a lot of ideas can come up and say, oh, you know what, this is great. Maybe I need to put it in like I said, ISSA show is I love that. I look forward every year to be there. Also the exhibitor vendors. I brought MaidCentral from ISSA show. I use 3-4 vendors from them. Background check. I use a vendor exhibit was on the ISSA show. So it is not only I go there to hear stories or meet other people and learn things, and I go still to educations and all that, but also the exhibitors, the vendors. What is going on new coming in the market.
Yeah, you never know where the robo cleaners are coming from if you don't
comment. But when you're talking about the networking and participating in an industry trade association, this ties back into what we're talking about at the beginning of the discussion in terms of the less valuable we are, the more valuable our company becomes. It doesn't feel like work when you're networking, when you're going to industry events, but it's really, as CEOs of our business, that's really the important stuff that we should be doing. Just grinding out in the processes of running your business day to day. You want to build your business where other people are doing that. So
yeah, networking is very important. You gotta be out there. I tell people you can't sit behind your desk in the front of your computer and only depend on Google. Google is great. I will tell you, Google is my number one source for my business, right? But community and being out there, show your faces, talk to other people, see how you can help them too. You know what I mean? And do partnership. We do partnership here. Like, you carpet cleaning, I help you, you help me, I help you. Believe it or not, I work with competitors, my competitors. If I am, we are overwhelmed here, my manager, no, they call, May Brigade here because we have a good relationship with them. We give them lead, we trust them, we trust their work, and the same thing, they give us lead too. So it's partnership. Don't be afraid. Don't worry about you. There is a lot of houses to clean everywhere. So don't worry. You will grow.
Even the biggest companies that we think are big companies, let's kind of do a little math here, right? My company has 1,200 recurring customers. There's 3 million people in St. Louis. So say that's 1.5 million households, and let's say of those 1.5 million households, 10% are kind of a target market for what we're doing. I have less than 1% market share. Does that sound reasonable, Tom? That's just, I'm making a number up, but.
And you run into like legitimate companies on a regular basis in your own market that you didn't even know existed, right?
Yeah, I mean, I met someone the other day that has a $2 million company that I was like, and I found their website and I was like, dang, they're like I had not heard of them really, and they run a pretty good shop. I'd seen them on some Google, on like some competitor reports, and we, so we ended up getting, chatting. They were interested in joining EO, and kind of I'm on the recruitment side for EO St. Louis, so I had a conversation with them. I was like, very interesting that I'd not really run into them before. And St. Louis has there's an $8 million competitor that's almost double my size down the street. There's a $3 million competitor 3 miles this way. There's a $2 million competitor, maybe 2.5 across the street. And there is, like you said, there's more than enough business to go around. None of us have more than a percentage or 2 of market share. Even the biggest guy in town, he probably only has 2% market share. There is so much business to go around. And we find that if we hire and we have the availability, we can fill people's schedule. It's, labor is still the lid. Getting people trained and keeping them is harder than it is to get customers. And I think that's what we all want, right? Like, that balance. And I think it's there. I don't know all the answers. Some of it's like easier as we get a little bit bigger and we're kind of known. We have like a formula for how we put a quarter in and get $1 out. But labor is still the most important. Like having great techs, like you're describing, is the most important part. I know you don't want to give away all the secrets of your presentation.
Yeah.
But what's the broad overview? What are you gonna share? What are some of the KPIs of your success?
How do you measure your employee engagement?
Yeah, that's a good question.
What about if we talk about that on my meeting?
Okay, on that in November if you want. But
I think I would tell you consistency. That I don't know, maybe a lot of businesses don't agree on me on this. We keep consistent team to client. 75%, 80%. I feel the client is happy and the employee are happy.
We've been tracking that for the last couple of years now, and I can tell you that the more consistent you are, the lower your customer churn is, the lower your employee turnover is, the higher your revenue per labor hour is. We talk about core KPIs in the MaidCentral world, and a lot of your core KPIs are moving the direction you want them to go as you're able to create that consistency.
I agree.
And this is, I think, what it helped me. I don't have a client leave unless they're moving. And I will tell you, I mean, if I look, I don't have that, but you probably can see, Tom, my ratio on client leaving, very, very low, very low. Or they're moving, or they financially they lost their job. We can't control. We have people
always say,
and they come back.
1 or 2% are dying or moving. So like,
but you're in Washington, D.C. Nobody loses a job in Washington.
Oh yeah, right. Loudoun County is very expensive. Go look to a house. I feel I was in a meeting. I was just talking about it, that how I have people drive for an hour to work because they can't afford to live in Loudoun County. I mean, we have huge issue in housing here, and we don't want to go farther on this, on that. We don't want to talk politics, but the housing is very expensive area here. So that's why I have to pay high too. So they get, people can, it's expensive here. It's expensive to live in DC area.
I just went to ChatGPT and asked it for the rank the top 10 household incomes by county in the U.S. Loudoun County is number 1. $147,000 is the average household income. Number 2 is Falls Church, which is, do you service Falls Church?
When I will open the office, I will start to be. I do one zip code of the Falls Church, the 22043, Tyson, around Tyson Corner area.
Which is like 147. Basically, they're almost tied, and then you start going out to California. So you've got the 2 most highest household income counties in the entire country.
And when we get people that will, they can afford us, but they don't want to pay. But it's okay. They're not my client. They're not my client, unfortunately. But it's okay. Not every prospect is my client.
There will always be that, some of our employees leave and think because they know how to clean that they have all the information to start a cleaning company. And so they'll underprice and do it for a few months until they realize this isn't sustainable. So that kind of does set kind of an unnecessarily low bar sometimes for what expectations are. If somebody had somebody that was, charging $20 an hour, $30 an hour, that isn't really kind of anticipating all the stuff that goes into running a company, like, all right, I got to be done at 4, and then I got to go do estimates and do my laundry, and I'm not done till 9 o'clock at night with working. So I'm really working a 16-hour day and just sleeping,
Yeah, we don't overwhelm them here. I don't know about you, Matt. I mean, my team, my structure here is 2 people. We don't do, and I respect every business in my area decision, how they run their businesses, because they're successful too. They're doing something right. On my business, I don't do more of 2 people, and I give them 3 to 4 houses max. We don't overwhelm them. We don't send 4 or 5 people to homes. This is how it has been with me, and I will continue this way. Sometimes we have 3 people. If one person didn't show up, we have to move somebody there and move. And again, MaidCentral is like, it's our baby. Like my manager, he loved MaidCentral because we had bad system before we've been using. I won't say which system was, and the corporate, they brought it into us to all, you've got Maid, and you will see half of you've got Maid now is like leaving. It was very hard. It was very, very bad system. So MaidCentral, you pay what you got for, but you pay what you got for, right, Matt? I mean, I tell people, if I go and say, well, this lady
without making it a MaidCentral discussion, my business would not have been able to grow. I mean, there's an award we're going to win this year based on the growth rate that we're doing, and we could not be in this category of growth without making investments in technology. So I think you're on the right track with it. And again, it's helping culture because you're doing something.
Just go ahead and say it. You couldn't have done it without MaidCentral.
I mean, it's a really important part of it. We could not have done it without MaidCentral.
Well, we're not, Matt, Tom, we're saying the truth here. I mean, maybe some people, they can't afford right now MaidCentral, but I would say, I mean, if you come to me for MaidCentral 4 years ago, I would tell you, I probably couldn't bring it to my company. Mm-hmm. But I think what is the help on is you pay what you get for. I mean, it's system. My husband, when we went to the training, we were like, when we left, and my husband Mike, he looked at me and said, "You gotta bring this. This is so powerful. It's so powerful. It's so powerful." I said,
I'll tell a sidetrack story is that MaidCentral Academy was something that Tom wanted to do in the April of 21. We had one. Is that the first one?
I think it was. That was the first one.
And put together the content of that. I was part of the team that put together the content. I was teaching the sales and marketing, but Tom was teaching the financial part, and he brought out the model, which is the model that I've known about for a while. But you have that spreadsheet, that model, right? The financial model. And I started playing with that. I started like looking at it, and I started messing with the numbers and like what happens, did some what if scenarios if we did some things. So I ran my marketing up, right? And okay, that was good. Now we got to fix this other thing, which is customer attrition. Now we got to work on employee attrition, right? So we started, focusing on one or two of those metrics a quarter, right? Like one or two of those things, and having good data allowed us to do that. And the model of MaidCentral is built on, again, this business can be this is what happens to everyone in this business is we get bored because it's really a simple business, but it's not easy. Like you know exactly what you have to do. And Tom catches me getting distracted all the time because like opportunities start coming at you when you start being a little bit successful. And I've had a few opportunities this year that I'm like, I got close and got excited. And then I'm like, no, I need to stay the course. I need just to focus on this kind of boring number here that I need to get better and focus on it. And again, it's simple, but not easy is the motto that I kind of just come back to is like, we know what we're supposed to do, but we got to just stay focused and not chase the next thing and stay focused on our people and developing them and pouring it back into them, which is what you're, we didn't get into the whole details of your talk, but that's going to be the big part of what we're going to talk about at ISSA.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm excited, and I will be also going to other session. I want to see other people what they're doing. Like I said, it's always great. It's great, and if anybody will like to come visit me, it doesn't matter from where, and Matt, I promise you I will reach out. I really wants to come see what you're doing, because you were when we were on the training on MaidCentral, you were one who you did speak about the marketing, and we were so impressed. Good luck.
There's a lot.
Great job what you're doing. We are so impressed of the numbers and your ideas, and I mean, this is great.
There's a lot of great ideas inside of MaidCentral. One thing I'll say is that like the community has really shaped the software over the last few years. And so I see a lot of cool things going, like when we talk about employee engagement and how important that is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I can't promise, I'm not on the team anymore, but I know they're listening, and I know that like those things are like on the roadmap. And I'm excited to see what comes out this year, and I'm really excited for convention. I think this will be the first year I haven't had to speak and do anything there in a little bit, and it'll be nice just to be a guest and to just enjoy my time.
You're not speaking at the moment. A lot of things can happen between now and November, and you never know when you show up in Vegas and find out that a speaker had to cancel last minute. You're on the short list.
I have a couple presentations that I keep prepared in case Aaron asks me to do something last minute. So I always have a couple prepared.
So you're not off the hook yet.
Right, it's true.
You'll be great for marketing, Matt, piece, because you're very great on that, the marketing.
Well, Matt's been putting a lot of thought and has written some papers on the future of the industry and how it is scaling, and it will continue to scale. And big companies are getting bigger. It's going to be it's going to be an exciting time. It's really exciting time to be in the house cleaning industry. That's for sure.
I have a meeting. I take meetings with private equity. I have a meeting on Friday with, someone in the private equity space. And, if people reach out to you to buy your business, don't say no. Like, just listen. You don't have to talk and tell them everything. Just get on a call with them and find out what they want and what they're interested in and see where there's an overlap in the future. Because I think it'll tell you how to make your business more valuable by listening. So I recommend that to people.
And that gets back to how you spend your time as the CEO. Get out of the day-to-day, build a team, and you can be setting the vision. You can be working on the strategy. The more time you spend doing that, the more opportunities you're going to create. You don't know what
you just get back. I think I lost you for a couple of seconds. We went black, and you are back right now.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, Matt, I'm looking forward to see you. I hope all the audience will come to the show. If you are new business, you need to come to the show. I would tell you, you will leave with a lot of important information. And business take time. If you are in the beginning of your journey, believe me, we are 7.5 years right now. And I still have, a lot to do, a lot of work, a lot more ideas to come in and all that. So business take time, but people needs to be patient. That the key is.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it feels like a big sacrifice to get away and do this stuff when your business is kind of newer or early stage.
Yeah.
But, I would not, again, talk about things that shaped my business. I would not be as far along without the relationships and conversations. I'll shout out to Tom, to Alonzo, Liz, just people that you meet at these things, Derek Christian, there's so many that are still, Sharon Tinberg was like one of my first coaches, and she'll never let anybody not know that she coached me when we first got started. But I got a lot of value out of that relationship early on because it was just stuff. We were good at a lot of things, good at marketing, but operationally we needed that experience, right? So whatever you're looking for, there's going to be something that you'll pull out of it. I hope.
Yeah, I hope so too.
So the show again is in November. It's in Las Vegas. It's at Mandalay Bay. It was Mandalay Bay for the first time last year. It's really kind of a cool venue. It's nice. It's convenient. You can stay right at the hotel. November 17th through 21 is going to be some education events. I'm sure that the HCT certification program will be part of that. If you have never had an opportunity to participate in that, that's Bruce Vance most likely will be teaching that. And that is something that anybody who's running a professional house cleaning business should participate in.
What was the date? Sorry, Tom. What the dates it's running?
For the education, it starts on the 17th.
Yeah.
There's a Raiders game on the 17th, I think. So if you really were, it's attached via an underground tunnel to the Allegiant Stadium. I just wanted to pull that up. I might actually get tickets to that.
If you're staying at Mandalay Bay, you can walk to the football
everywhere. Yeah.
I might actually. I haven't been to an NFL game since they left St. Louis. I might actually get myself a ticket for that. Might be fun.
What grade were you in?
I don't know. No, the Rams just pulled out of St. Louis.
Oh, the Rams. I was thinking about the Cardinals. Never mind.
Yeah, we've had a couple of teams pull out of St. Louis and leave us in the dust. So.
But HCT is really good, and the actual show starts on the 19th. And there's a lot of education. There's a ton of networking. You see vendors. It's worth the price of admission. So we are at the top of the hour. Crazy how that happens.
Tom, thank you very much for the opportunity. Matt, I will see you in November.
See you in St. Louis too. See you soon.
Thank you for I'm planning to. I will shoot you email And thank you for the ISSA and ARCSI. I mean, to give that, they're great. I mean, you know, I'm already on their email too, and I got always their email to learn about, you know, new thing and a new product coming in, and vendors. The vendors is huge for me. Like I go every time there, and I spend half of my day on this exhibit, and you know, I use them for my business. Every time I go there, I meet a new vendor and better pricing. I would tell you that better pricing because we are member. That the key is. So.
Well, Natasha, I've been doing this for a while, and just when you think that you've heard everything, you hear something new, and you introduced some innovative concepts to employee engagement today, and I was taking notes, and I can't wait to participate, hear your presentation when it's in Vegas, and I thank you a ton for being a guest on Smart Business Moves today.
Thank you, Tom.
Matt, as always, I appreciate everything that you do for the industry and helping me out here today. This was good. I enjoyed this.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and call it a wrap. We'll be back next Wednesday, 5 o'clock Eastern. Till then, everybody take care.